Have you ever wondered how a simple rock can transform into one of the most valuable stones on the planet? Behind the shine of a diamond there is no magic, but rather millions of years of extreme pressure, impossible temperatures, and a brutal journey from the depths of the earth to a luxury jewelry store. In this video, we are going to discover where diamonds are truly born, how they manage to reach the surface, and what industrial processes are needed to extract them, cut them, and turn them into symbols of power, wealth, and beauty. We begin. The formation of diamonds takes place under extreme conditions, at great depth beneath the Earth's surface. The process requires carbon to be located at more than 150 kilometers deep, within the Earth's mantle, a region of the planet characterized by physical conditions that differ radically from those found at the surface. In this deep environment, the temperature exceeds 1,000 degrees Celsius, while the pressure reaches extraordinarily high values, on the order of 45 to 60 kilobars. These conditions are necessary for carbon atoms to adopt a specific structural configuration. Under the combined influence of high temperature and extreme pressure, carbon atoms reorganize to form a three-dimensional crystalline lattice. In this structure, each carbon atom establishes covalent bonds with four neighboring atoms, arranged in a tetrahedral geometry. The result is diamond, a mineral that exhibits one of the highest hardness values known in nature, with a value of 10 on the Mohs scale. The formation of diamond depends on a precise balance between pressure and temperature. When these parameters fall within specific ranges, carbon crystallizes as diamond. If the conditions vary even moderately, carbon adopts a different structure and forms graphite, a much softer and more abundant mineral. This sensitivity to environmental conditions explains why diamonds are relatively scarce compared to other forms of carbon. The formation process is not instantaneous. Diamond crystallization occurs over periods that extend for millions and even billions of years. Geochronological studies indicate that many diamonds recovered today formed between 1,000 and 3,300 million years ago, during geological eras long before the appearance of the first complex organisms on Earth. This means that many of the diamonds used in jewelry predate not only the dinosaurs, but even much of the history of life on the planet. However, the formation of a diamond in the Earth's mantle does not guarantee its accessibility. For these minerals to be extracted and used, they must be transported from the depths of the mantle to the Earth's surface, a phenomenon that requires specific and infrequent geological processes. The fundamental element that allows diamonds to reach the upper layers of the planet is a volcanic rock known as kimberlite. This rock functions as a natural container, capable of housing diamonds within it and transporting them to the surface during highly intense volcanic eruptions. During these eruptions, magma rises rapidly from the Earth's mantle to the outer layers of the planet, carrying with it fragments of kimberlite that include diamonds formed deep underground. Without the intervention of this geological process, diamonds would remain trapped at enormous depths beyond human reach throughout the planet's entire history. Despite the enormous force generated during the ascent of the magma, diamonds managed to preserve their integrity thanks to their exceptional hardness. Once the volcanic eruption ends, the kimberlite cools and solidifies near the surface or directly on it, giving rise to deposits that millions of years later will be identified and exploited by humans. However, the mere presence of diamonds in these deposits does not mean that they can be used immediately. At this stage, the crystals remain embedded in large volumes of rock and mineral material. From this point onward, the industrial process begins, responsible for extracting them, separating them, and preparing them for their subsequent transformation. Obtaining diamonds from rock is a task that combines industrial force and technical precision. The process begins in large mining operations, which can be open pit or underground, where kimberlite deposits are concentrated. To reach them, large-scale machinery is used, designed to work on extremely resistant geological formations. The first step consists of drilling the ground with high-performance equipment, capable of creating holes that, in many cases, exceed 100 meters in depth. These drillings are carried out following a carefully planned pattern. Once completed, controlled quantities of explosives are inserted with the aim of fragmenting the rock without damaging the diamonds contained within it. When the detonation takes place, the release of energy is enormous. In a matter of seconds, large masses of rock fracture into multiple fragments, exposing the kimberlite. Although it is a high-impact operation, the entire procedure is designed to protect the integrity of the crystals. After the blasting, the fragmented material is collected by large-capacity mining trucks, capable of transporting dozens of tons in each trip. At first glance, the load may appear to be nothing more than a collection of worthless rocks, but among those fragments are diamonds in their raw state. Finally, this material is continuously transported to processing plants, where the next phase of the process begins, focused on the separation and treatment of the mineral content. When the kimberlite extracted from the mine arrives at the processing plant, one of the key stages of the process begins, the separation of diamonds from the rest of the rocky material. To achieve this, the first step consists of reducing the size of the rocks through a large-scale crushing process. High-power industrial crushers break the kimberlite into progressively smaller pieces, allowing the crystals embedded within it to be released. Once crushed, the material passes through different separation systems designed to take advantage of the physical properties of diamonds. In many cases, chemical baths or specific solutions are used to dissolve or remove less resistant minerals. Due to their extreme hardness, diamonds are not affected by these treatments and remain intact while the other components degrade or are separated. However, this stage does not conclude with chemical treatments. The resulting material still contains remnants of mud, dust, and other minerals that must be removed. For this purpose, separation equipment is used that functions like large industrial filters, capable of eliminating lighter particles and retaining those of greater density. Thanks to this combination of mechanical, chemical, and physical processes, diamonds begin to be identified more clearly. Although they are still in a rough state, without brilliance and with a dull appearance, they have already been freed from the rock that kept them hidden for millions of years, leaving them ready for the next stages of cleaning and classification. Before moving on to the final stages of the process, the diamonds must undergo a thorough and controlled cleaning. Although they are among the most resistant materials in nature, the presence of dust, mud, or mineral residues can interfere with proper evaluation. To prevent this, specialized equipment is used that employs high-pressure water and, in certain cases, carefully regulated chemical solutions. The objective of this phase is to remove any remaining impurities without compromising the integrity of the crystal. At this point, precision is essential, since even a minimal mark or scratch on the surface of the diamond could significantly reduce its commercial value. Once cleaning is complete, the diamonds move on to the initial sorting process. At this stage, they are grouped according to different criteria, such as size, shape, color, and overall quality. Human intervention is crucial. Highly experienced gemologists analyze each stone individually, evaluating its visible characteristics. This work is complemented by the use of advanced technologies, such as X-ray systems and laser scanners, which make it possible to examine the interior of the diamond without the need to manipulate it directly. Thanks to these methods, it is possible to detect internal inclusions and other features that are not visible to the naked eye. As a result of this classification, the larger diamonds with fewer imperfections are separated from the rest, as they are intended for the manufacture of high-value jewelry, while lower-quality stones continue along a different path toward other commercial uses. Cutting and polishing represent one of the most delicate and decisive stages in the transformation of a diamond. At this phase, an incorrect decision can considerably reduce the value of the stone, which is why the work is carried out exclusively by specialists with extensive experience and technical training. Before beginning, each rough diamond is carefully analyzed to define the best cutting strategy according to its shape, size, and internal characteristics. For this process, extremely high-precision tools are used, such as specialized saws and laser cutting systems, which make it possible to divide the crystal accurately and minimize material loss. At this stage, even a minimal difference of only a fraction of a millimeter can significantly influence the final result. The goal is not only to shape the diamond, but also to correctly design its facets. The orientation, number, and angle of these surfaces are fundamental, as they determine how light enters, reflects, and exits the stone, directly affecting its brilliance and appearance. Once the cut is defined, the diamond moves on to the polishing process. For this, rotating wheels coated with special abrasive powders, generally diamond-based, are used to work each facet with extreme precision. The artisans slowly polish the surface until imperfections are removed and a uniform finish is achieved. It is at this point that the diamond begins to show its true potential. The stone acquires its characteristic brilliance, increases its transparency, and reveals the intensity of its sparkle. The final result is a perfectly crafted diamond, ready to move on to the final evaluation and become part of a high-value piece of jewelry. Once the polishing process is complete, the diamonds enter the final evaluation stage. At this point, highly trained specialists analyze each stone with magnification instruments to detect microscopic inclusions, internal irregularities, or any characteristic that may influence its value. This review is governed by the international standard known as the 4 Cs: cut, clarity, color, and carat weight. Only those diamonds that meet the most demanding quality criteria obtain final certification. In certain cases, the stones are also subjected to additional tests to confirm their natural origin and rule out the possibility that they are synthetic or artificially treated diamonds. After being approved, the diamonds are prepared for transport under very strict security protocols. Transportation is usually carried out using armored vehicles, real-time tracking systems, and, when necessary, specially controlled air shipments to minimize any risk. The final step takes place in jewelry workshops, where specialized artisans set the diamonds into precious metals such as gold, platinum, or silver. In this way, rings, necklaces, earrings, and other pieces are created, which will eventually be displayed in high-end jewelry stores or become part of private collections. It is striking to think that these stones, now associated with luxury and exclusivity, began their history hundreds of kilometers beneath the Earth's surface in a natural process that took millions of years.